Hello and welcome to Dr. Guitar. In this video I'll be doing a tutorial on the song Let Her Go by Passenger. I'll be covering the difficulty, the intro, the verse, and the chorus, and at the end I have 3 helpful tips. The difficulty of this song is about a 6.3 out of 10. If you look at the left hand, it's using the chords F major 7 with your thumb over top on the 6th string, a G chord, a C chord, an A minor chord, and an E minor chord. And those chords are pretty easy on their own, but we're also going to have to infuse some pull-offs and hammer-ons and some single note runs. And for that reason, the left hand gets a 6 out of 10. The rhythm of this song is centered around an 8th note and 16th note pattern like this: 1 and 2 E and a 3 and 4 E and a. And it also has some syncopated notes with a bass line going on with a melody line that's a little different rhythmically. So for that reason, I've given this a 6 out of 10. The right hand of this song is pretty difficult. It uses a full spectrum of all 6 strings on the fingerstyle pattern. Particularly, your thumb is getting quite a workout in this song from the 4th string to 6th string like this. And it also infuses melodic runs where you're going to have to pluck single note lines while the arpeggio pattern's happening. So for that reason, I give this a 7 out of 10. To determine the difficulty of each song, I add up the left hand, the rhythm, and right hand difficulties and round out that average. 6.3 out of 10. Don't forget to slap a capo on fret 7. Let's get started. The intro of this song uses 3 chords, your F major 7, a G chord, and an A minor. And what I'd like to do is just go measure by measure. First measure sounds like this. And let's break that down. So it starts off with this F major 7 shape with 3, 2, 1. We're actually going to skip the 5th string for this because we're going to need our pinky on a melodic run at the start here. And it's going to be 4-note melodic run, 3, 0, 3, pull off to 1. And you're going to need that chord because it goes right into an arpeggio pattern. It starts off like that, which is the 6th and 3rd string, and then hammer on to fret 2. And we're going to play the 4th and 2nd string together. And then it's going to be a little pattern here in the right hand. So you leave the chord and we'll do thumb, index, thumb, ring, and middle finger together on the top strings. And then we're going to do another pattern of thumb, index, thumb, middle. And here we're actually going to have to change the chord. And it goes back to that same melodic run. But this time we're going to play the bass note first, then the 1st string, then your pinky on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string with the 3rd string open, pull off to 1. Sounds like this. In the next measure, we're going to switch to an A minor, and it starts off just like the previous measure with a hammer on. So that's the 5th string and 3rd string, hammered on, and then the 4th and 2nd string. And then we're going to go to a pattern of thumb, index, thumb, and middle. And you're going to switch chords to G. And this is nice because you only need the 3rd finger on the 6th string of the 3rd fret here. For this chord, you actually don't need to build the full chord. And then it goes back to the melodic pattern. And here it starts back off on an F major 7 again. So here's where it changes. You're going to need to do a pull off on your pinky. So that's the 1st string, 3rd fret, 0 after, pull off to 0, and then you're going to play the 4th string, 3rd string, and now you're going to switch to this G chord again, where you hammer on from 1 to fret 3, 3rd string open, 1st string open. So this measure sounds like this. So this leads us to the first ending of the intro, which sounds like this. Let's break that down. So it's an A minor. So it's a boom chuck, bass, fourth and second string together, then a pattern, thumb, index, thumb, middle, then a boom chuck, and we're back to this melodic run with the G chord. So the thing that's nice is you repeat everything back to the beginning after the first ending, and when you get to the first ending this time, you're going to change it with the second ending, which is this. So the only difference is the last beat of the measure is, instead of doing the melodic run, we're just being stagnant on a G like this. Put it all together, it sounds like this. First ending, repeat. Second ending. This leads us to the chorus portion of the fingerstyle intro, and it is a lot easier than the verse. It's pretty nice. So you're just going to do a repeating pattern on 4 different chords. So let's break it down. So the first chord is our F major 7, and the pattern is going to be a boom chuck. So 6th string and then 4th string and 2nd, and then we'll have a pattern here, which is thumb, index, thumb, middle, and you'll do 6, 3, 4, 2. And when you put those together, it sounds like this. And that's the pattern. Then you're going to switch to a C chord. Make sure your thumb goes to the 5th string for this to meet the root of the chord. And you do the same pattern. Then you're going to go to a G chord, and all you need is your 3rd finger on the string. You don't need the full chord shape, which is really nice, so you just do the same pattern here. And then you go to an A minor chord, and you do the same thing. When you put it all together, it sounds like this. C, G, A minor, F, C, G, A minor. The rest of the song switches to a strumming pattern with the chords, and we're going to take a look at the verse. The verse has 2 parts. Let's take a look at the first one. So it's going to start with an A minor, and you're going to go down, down, up, and then you're going to go to an F major 7 and do the same thing. Down, down, up, down, up. Then we're going to go to a G chord, which has a slightly different pattern, which is down, 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 up. And then we're going to go to an E minor, which is up, down, down, up, down, up. Put them together. All of part 1 sounds like this. Down, down, up, down, up, down, 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 down. Part 2 is the exact same chord progression, except the E minor at the end gets cut off, and we're going to do the G twice, like this. Put both parts of the verse together, it sounds like this. Tip number 1, get used to having your thumb over top of the neck of the guitar on the back end for the 6th string for the entire duration of the song. A lot of times we'll get through our F major 7 chord, and we'll go to the next chord, like a G chord, and we're like, okay, good, I can relax now. Instead of having my thumb here, I can bring it back to normal. And then when you get back, you have to scoot your hand right back up. So I recommend just leaving it there the whole time. And you can get better at this by taking out the right hand and just focus on strumming with these chords, with having your thumb over top the whole time. Tip number 2 is to isolate the right hand patterns and just practice those separately. So you could just focus on get the patterns down. Actually just look at the right hand, what is it doing, and then play that through and get used to that, get comfortable there. And then when you go plug in the left hand, it should be a lot easier. Tip number 3 is to take the capo off and actually play this in first position, which is a lot harder to do. The neck of the guitar gets closer together as you go up, so it's a lot easier to play here because the frets are closer together, but here they're further away, which makes this a lot more difficult to have your thumb over top, which would sound something like this. And this will give you good practice on getting your thumb over top. And then once you get kind of the idea of what that's like and you put the capo back on fret 7, it should be a lot easier to get your thumb over and kind of see, oh, okay, I built up some strength here and now this is a little bit easier. Please let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. I'm happy to help. And I also take requests, so if there's anything you want me to learn, I'm happy to do a tutorial. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.